Here at Alternate Reality, all new comics are 15% off every day for everybody. That's right, all my new comics are always 15% off every day for everyone. All you got to do is stop in here and pick it up anytime during the 7 days that book is new. So be sure to stop off here at Alternate Reality and pick up this week's new comics for 15% off all the time. Only at...
It's time for wrestling news. And I happen to know that Boa wrestlers with the all-you-can-eat buffet at IHOP.
And you got a glass head, I can see right through it. That's how I know you're stupid.
Wrestling News, episode 28, Good Hostages, Bad Company.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to the fun house that is known as Comic Book Man's Video Outhouse, where you can go for all kinds of pop culture references, comics, movies, media news, and WWE news. We come, as we always do, from Alternate Reality, next to the corner of 111th and Kedzie, in the rain-soaked, soon-to-be beer-soaked Chicago neighborhood of Mount Greenwood.
Beer is the least of the soakings.
We're taping this on St. Patty's Day weekend, so, you know, hide the wives and children and bar the door because it's going to get ugly.
I saw an armed guard at the 7-Eleven.
You betcha. We're here to talk to you about WWE. I'm Uncle Peter. Joining me, as always, is the fountain of information.
Bo, we already know who everybody is. Why do we keep doing these introductions?
It's polite.
Oh, okay.
Somebody could be watching this for the
Jeff's
first
gonna put
time.
a Chiron on the bottom. He's going to tell us.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's go.
Right,
There's no guarantee that I'm going to get it right.
Yeah, really. I mean, how hard is Bo to spell?
He's going to be working on it doing St. Patrick's Day. So
all right. We got news to talk about.
Yes.
We got crossover news between wrestling and politics. Which, when you stop to think about it, might not always be such a breed apart. Specifically, Ms. Linda McMahon, who is running for the Senate seat in Connecticut. And there's a whole bunch of stuff attached, and I haven't read it. Bo wrote it, so I'm going to let him explain it.
Linda's campaign to be the Republican candidate to replace Christopher Dodd is not exactly going very well.
Running into a little problems, are we?
She's got two other. She's got a guy named Peter, whatever, and a guy named Rob Simmons. He sent a letter to her to ask her 10 questions about her campaign and the actions of the WWE, specifically the fact that you've got a lot of wrestlers who've dropped dead lately, most of which used to work for the WWE.
From various chemical problems.
And he said, well, why don't you try to explain to us why this is happening?
Yeah, in other words, we're smearing the Ms. McMahon.
Well, there was also the steroid thing, the 10 questions wasn't the big thing. The bigger thing is the fact that the WWE got about $5 million back from the federal government as part of the stimulus package. But
that was nice of them.
But they cut people who work for the company. So he goes, how do you get $5 million back and cut people who make about $700,000 a year total?
Hit me out here. Hit me out here.
Yes.
This tax stimulus.
Yes.
Whatever you think about it.
They got to cut. Right.
They got to cut. It was supposed
to
preserve or create jobs, right?
They fired people.
That's kind of
after getting the check.
Wow, that's messed up. Something else messed up and pharmaceutically related.
By the way, in the latest polls, the one candidate in this race with the most unfavorable ratings is Linda, who basically, if you've ever seen on camera, comes off as a block of wood with blonde hair.
Yeah, well, what do you? Performing ain't her forte. Ain't mine either. But I'm not running for the Senate. As I was about to say before, I was rudely cut off.
Oh, okay.
More legal issue, or actually not legal issues.
In a related note,
pharmaceutically related issues for the WWE. Take it, Bo.
The Harris County Medical Examiner's Office finally released the cause of death of Edward Fatu, otherwise known as
Umaga, the butt surfer.
Right.
No, wait, that didn't come out right.
That wasn't the
the butt bomb.
Umaga was that was Rikishi.
Okay,
Umaga was the Samoan bulldozer.
Ah, yes, the bulldozer. Well, anyway, he passed away a while ago.
He died on multiple heart attacks because
we finally figured out why.
He had 3 drugs in his system. He had hydrocodone, otherwise known as Vicodin.
Yes.
He had cariprodol, otherwise known as Somas, and he had diapazon, which is Valium. All 3 of those drugs were in the system. Now, Vicodin sort of calms you down. Soma knocks you out. Valium sort of relieves anxiety. He had all 3 of them in his system while he was watching TV and died of a heart attack.
A note to the other wrestlers. Has none of this caught your attention by now? you load up on these drugs, you end up dead, and you end up dead at a young age.
38 years old.
And all you kids who may be checking this out, take a lesson. Don't end up like them. Stay away from that stuff unless you got a doctor closely watching you. And that's my rant for the day. Thank you. Legal issues. The Supreme Court. We're talking about the Supreme Court.
We went to the big house.
Boy, we made the big time. This may be the fall of the Republic.
And actually, this is also connected to the Linda McMahons story.
Well, what happened there, Bo?
Because it involves Nancy Benoit, the ex-wife of Chris Benoit, who went nuts after having a whole bunch of drugs in his system and choked her to death.
Yeah. See previous rant.
Hustler magazine basically picked up some 20-year-old photos of Nancy and they published them. Her family sued Hustler magazine by saying that when Nancy did the pictures, she had an agreement with a photographer to have those pictures destroyed and so no one would ever see them. One court basically said that Hustler was perfectly within their rights to release those photos.
Yes.
But this week the Supreme Court said no.
No, not so much. And since they're pretty much the court of last resort.
That's why they call them the Supreme Court.
I'm thinking Larry Flint's going to have to write a check or something.
Probably.
Anyway.
Speaking of checks
and getting money and, frankly, flakes. The Warrior. He was included in Raw.
He was...
Why would they include him in Raw?
Our last update, we said that the Ultimate Warrior refused to join the WWE Hall of Fame.
Right.
But on this week's Raw, when they ran it, the really crappy show that was opposite TNA, he was included in the opening sequence. He replaced Ric Flair, which sort of suggests to everyone involved that the WWE and the Warrior have come up with some kind of financial arrangement.
But apparently not enough.
Well, the deal was they were offering less money, which is why he told them to go to hell in the first place. They were only offering him $5,000 to show up at the Hall of Fame for that one day and do the other stuff and show up at WrestleMania the next day.
How's your career going at this point,
but
there,
he
Warrior?
said that wasn't enough. I could make that in autograph shows. And so apparently the WWE
speaking of recreational
has agreed
chemicals
to pay up, and so he will probably be one of the next to last inductees into the Hall of Fame. Because you've only got 2 people left.
Who'd have thunk? I know where they're probably going to get the money from, and that would be what they're going to be paying Charlie. Not going to be paying Charlie Haas.
Yes,
am I correct there?
That's correct. Our last story is involving the last person to get cut from the WWE, Charlie Haas. If you remember from one of our previous things, Charlie actually asked to be released from the WWE, and they said, well, you're going to go to TNA, so not only are we not going to release you, we're going to give you a raise.
Okay.
3 weeks after the fact, they cut him anyway.
Bye! Nice. It's good to know you got your facts correct. Anyway, Charlie, we're sorry, but, you know.
His wife is so hot, too.
Doo-doo happens. Anyway, on that note, we got to wrap it up because we're getting a get the hell out of here signal from Camera Geek. Yeah. And
he's giving us the finger.
He is. All 5 of them. WWE news, all the news we do's. Movies, media, comic books, the whole schmear. You know the drill by now. You can find it. Get on the information superhighway. Get off on the exit that brings you to Alternate Reality. That address is going to be given to you by a very cute little girl by the name of Sarah. She's right over here. Sarah, tell them where to find us.
And here it is, the lovely website, www.myalternatereality.com.
Cool.
Anyway, now you know. We expect to see you there.
We can't see you there. It's the internet. It's privacy. It's what the internet's all about.
Shut up.
Anyway,
we're done.
We're done.
We're done.
Bye,
that
kids.
was Bo. I'm Uncle Peter.
Drive safely.
We got to get out of here. See ya.
Alternate Reality is located at 3149 West 111th Street. That's the intersection of 111th and Kedzie in Chicago, the beautiful downtown Mount Greenwood neighborhood. You can always reach us at 773-881-HERO or at the store's website, www.myalternatereality.com.